Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be going over the top 10 strongest grass types, and I hope to go over every single type in this series, and I just thought, grass is probably the best type to start off with, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So, coming in at number 10 is Roselia. Now Roselia, when you first look at it, has really good stats. It's got 125 special attack, 105 special defense, and 90 speed. Now the speed isn't that great, but when equipped with a choice scarf, it can definitely outspeed some of the Pokemon that usually outspeed it. It's got access to not the deepest move pool, but it's definitely usable. It's got moves like Leaf Storm and Sludge Bomb, and even Hidden Power Fire if you really need it. But the main thing that makes this Pokemon really good is that it has access to Sleep Powder, which means it can put Pokemon to sleep, and since it's relatively fast, it can shut down many tanks before they can set up and sweep your team. Overall, with a decent typing in Grass Poison, Roserade's main problem is that it has very low defense and very low HP. But apart from that, Roserade is a pretty strong Pokemon overall. Coming in at number 9 is Mega Sceptile. Now, yes, Megas will be included on this list. I thought that it just felt right to have Megas on this list. So, the first Mega coming in at number 9 is Mega Sceptile. Now, Mega Sceptile, I talked about regular Sceptile in the last video, how its move pool is too shallow. Well, Mega Sceptile has the stats to the point where it doesn't even matter how shallow its move pool is anymore. Its special attack is 145, and with 145 speed, that's going to be outspeeding almost everything in the metagame. Its Dragon Pulse is extremely powerful now because it's Stab, because Sceptile is a Grass Dragon type. Also, its Leaf Storm hits harder than ever before. Mega Sceptile is basically just extremely powerful, and it definitely can be a threat if you allow it to set up on you or sweep through your whole team. The main problem with Mega Sceptile though is that it has a 4 times weakness to Ice. Now grass types have a lot of weaknesses, and it's just unfortunate that the Dragon type happens to be weak to Ice as well, which is a very common attacking move for most Pokemon to have, but apart from that, Sceptile is a very solid Pokemon. Coming in at number 8 is a Moonguss. Now, a Moonguss is an extremely good defensive Pokemon. It's got moves like Toxic, Stun Spore, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power Fire if you want the coverage. Its stats, 114 HP and 80 special defense, which means it's going to be eating up those special attacks for days, and 70 defense, which is pretty good considering it's got 114 HP. But where this Pokemon really shines is its access to Spore and its hidden ability Regenerator, which heals 1/3 of its health every time it switches out. The main problem with this Pokemon is that its defenses aren't that good, but they are pretty good, and honestly it is very slow, which means it can get set up on quite easily, especially by other grass types because they're unaffected by Spore, but still, a Moonguss is a very good Pokemon. Coming in at number 7 is Celebi. Now, Celebi has been a Pokemon that's been around in the competitive metagame for quite some time, and its job's basically stayed the same the whole time, and that's pretty much a Nasty Plot sweeper. Nasty Plot is going to double Celebi's special attack, which is insanely powerful, plus it's got good coverage with Giga Drain or Leaf Storm and Psychic. It also has access to Dazzling Gleam and Hidden Power Fire if you really think it needs it. Many people also like to run a defensive set as well, with moves such as Leech Seed and Toxic to stall out your opponent. With having 100 in all its stats, it means that it can be quite bulky if EV trained in those stats, but the main problem is its weakness to Bug, which is getting more common as the generations go on, but apart from that, Celebi is a very strong Pokemon. Coming in at number 6 is Serperior. Now Serperior, after it got its hidden ability, became insanely powerful. That contrary Leaf Storm is going to boost its special attack by 2 stages every single time it attacks, and it also has access to really good moves such as Leech Seed and Glare, and with a really fast 113 speed stat, you don't really have to worry about it getting outspeed by a lot of other Pokemon. The main problem with Serperior though is that it's got pretty low defenses and HP, and that Pokemon that are faster than it is just going to completely shut it down. But Serperior is still extremely powerful if you don't have a counter to it. It's going to wipe through teams 6-0 people that aren't ready for Serperior. Coming in at number 5 is Breloom. Now Breloom Looking at its stats, its only really good stat is attack, but don't let that fool you because it's got access to one of the best moves in the game, Spore. And also, it's got the ability Technicians, which means its Muck Punch and Bullet Seed is powered up, so most people run Muck Punch and Bullet Seed to take advantage of the Technician. The main problem with Breloom is that its stats are pretty bad. It's only got 60 in HP and 80 and 60 in a defense and special defense respectively, and its speed isn't that great either, and I don't think many people want to run a choice scarf on this thing because they want to be able to attack and use Spore at the same time. But honestly, Breloom is a really great Pokemon and definitely one that you should have a plan for if you see it on another person's team. Coming in at number 4 is Tangrowth, and Tangrowth is a really good Pokemon. After it got its hidden ability Regenerator, which as you know from a Moonguss, heals a third of your health after you switch out, no longer did Tangrowth have to worry about its low special defense. The main problem with Tangrowth is that it would have to choose between an Assault Vest boosting its defenses or recovery moves, but with Regenerator it doesn't have to worry about either of those things because it can run an Assault Vest and have free recovery from switching out. But the main problem with Tangrowth is even with the Assault Vest, his special defense is still extremely low at only 50, and his speed is quite low as well, which means he can be set up on by a lot of other Pokemon. But overall, Tangrowth is a really strong Pokemon. It comes in at the OU tier, so it's pretty good in competitive, and Tangrowth is definitely a Pokemon that you have to have an answer for when playing in the OU tier. Coming in at number 3 is Mega Venusaur, and after Venusaur got its Mega, it was just insane. Its defenses are through the roof with 123 in defense and 120 in special defense. Also with access to moves like Sleep Powder and being able to sweep with Giga Drain, Energy Ball and Hidden Power Fire. And its ability Thick Fat means it is no longer weak to fire and ice type moves, which were its two biggest weaknesses. Now, to shut down Mega Venusaur, you're going to need flying or psychic moves, which aren't that common. This makes Mega Venusaur almost one of the best grass types in Pokemon. Coming in at number 2 is Tapabulu. Now Tapabulu, looking at its stats, it's got really good stat distribution with 130 in attack, 115 in defense and 95 in special defense. It has pretty decent bulk, and with access to moves like Swords Dance, Horn Leech, Superpower and Stone Edge, it means it's going to be sweeping through teams if you don't have an answer for it. The main drawback to this guy though is that his low speed and 4 times weakness to poison really can shut him down quite quickly. Tapabulu can destroy teams if you're not ready for it, but if you do have an answer for Tapabulu, he is hard countered by almost every single poison type in the game, so that's the main problem with Tapabulu. But most of the time his stats are just so good, and the fact that you have to run a specific counter to him really shows you how strong Tapabulu really is. And coming in at number 1 is Ferrothorn. Now you look at Ferrothorn's stats, you see 131 defense, 116 special defense. You just instantly think, man, this guy's going to be a tank. And he's got access to great moves as well, Leech Seed and Stealth Rock. Also, it's a steel type, which means it resists almost every single other type in the game. The grass steel typing is really good. Unfortunately, it has a quad weakness to fire, which most of the time you don't have to worry about, and Stealth Rocks is just really good for this Pokemon to have. Honestly, this Pokemon is the best grass type hands down. I don't think you can argue with this one. It's just Ferrothorn is so good, and he's been so good for so long. Its stats are so good, its move pool is so good. There's just so many things that make Ferrothorn good, and that's why it is number 1 on this list. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you think the strongest grass types are in the comments, and I will see you guys later.